Today, I am going to be building the new, largest LEGO Star Wars set of the year in world record time. Now, since this set only came out on October 3rd, there has been no official timing for the fastest build of this set, as far as I'm aware, which would make this the first ever world record. The plan is simple. I will be building this set as fast as humanly possible and will be updating you every single hour of it, with my ultimate goal being to build the Razor Crest in under 24 hours. And with that said, remember to hit that subscribe button because, as Mando says, this is the way. Let's open it up. There are also some really nice little boxes inside that have some cool concept art of Mando, which is really neat. And there's also a couple of the Razor Crest, which is also pretty epic. Look, it's Baby Yoda. So anyway, it looks like we have close to 40 bags here. Let's get started. So for hour one, we have about 3 bags done, and this is what we have so far. We also have by far the coolest Mandalorian minifigure that has been released to date. We'll take a look at him later. But other than that, it looks like we're working on some cockpit detailing right now, and we also have some nice little wiring in here to just show the interior of the set much better. With that said, we're going to move into bag 4 and hour number 2. And ladies and gentlemen, with hour 2, we made it up to bag number 7. There were a lot of highlights to this bag. We had some Imperial cratage over there, as well as just some general supplies. And I think the coolest little detail being that of Boba Fett's armor, which I think is an insane detail. With that said, it looks like we have about 30 bags to go, and not a lot of time to do it. So let's go. And like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are finished with bag number 10, and this is where we're at in the build. We have fully functioning doors, which work really well inside of the ship, and you can have Mando come and walk out, and it is minifigure scale, essentially, which is amazing. We also have the epic looking back door, which is just fantastic. It comes down really well, and it looks absolutely sick, and again, minifigure scale. How awesome is that? Overall, the build is really shaping up, and I cannot wait to see where we go in further. We are on hour number 4, and so far we have pretty much most of the bottom exterior done. Probably the most notable improvement since the last one is the addition of the little landing gear here. With that said, it looks like it's time for hour number 5. And like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with hour 5, probably the biggest hour so far. We did finish the landing gear, which was very exciting. We also built the carbon freezing chambers as well as Mando's blaster rack. And we also built the interior, which with Baby Yoda. And by the way, a feature I did not even know was going to show up in the set, we have Frog Lady's eggs. Did anyone know that was in here? I sure didn't. Plus we have Mando, and back there we have a door that opens up just nicely. And Baby Yoda can of course come in here and vibe, and it is absolutely an epic little cockpit right here. Guys, I am so tired right now. We're at like the 5-hour mark, and I've been non-stop building for this whole time. Although I did change shirts because I was tired of being in a sweatshirt. So plan is, I'm gonna sleep on it. I'll be back tomorrow, and we will finish this set, hopefully. Good morning, sunshine. So, we slept for about 8 hours, which puts us currently at the 13-hour mark. That is not great at all. So we currently have about 11 hours left to get the entire top half of this thing built, and I think we can still do it in that time, but that is the bigger part of this set. This is still the smaller part, I believe, and we still have a load of ways to go. We're on bag like 17, so I think we're close to halfway there. But with that said, let's go. And like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are 6 hours into the build, as well as 14 hours in total, and we have about 10 hours left to get this thing done. The main accomplishments in the last hour were rounding out the front of the ship, as well as working on the top back fin right here. This is not done. This is the first time we haven't really completed a full bag for the hour. That's what I've been trying to do. And so far, it's pretty great. So with that said, let's get back into it. Okay, now we are 7 hours into the build and 15 hours into the final structure. Now, it doesn't look like a lot got done here, but these two panels were incredibly big, this one and this one right here. And we also, of course, finished the back plate. We also are working on the engines now, and that is going to be the big behemoth of this set. And that is why we have so many bags over here still. There is just so many. It's so bad. Also, I don't think I ever mentioned how many plastic bags you actually have to go through for this thing. It's nuts. Either way, I overshot this hour a little bit by like 6 minutes, so we have to get this next one done really, really quickly. And again, I'm still going for that 10-hour mark, and I hope we can hit it for the actual build itself. But for time total, it looks like we have about like 10 hours. Okay, so we are now 8 hours into the build and 16 hours into the final structure, and the main focus has been the engines here. We got this entire top structure done. Technically, it's not supposed to even be put on yet, but this looks to be the very last part other than the cockpit area. So we are getting very close to being done. We just say how massive this entire thing is. Look how big that is compared to a figure. That is nuts. And I am so excited to finally finish this guy up. You know, we might be able to do it in under the time limit. I am very excited. We probably can. So with that said, let's go. But first, I'm gonna eat some lunch and do some other stuff, so that's probably gonna be an extra hour. So we're gonna need to top an hour on top of that, which... we're cutting that a little close, under the 24-hour mark, but we're gonna do it.
One eternity later.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Bag 26, here we come. And like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with bag 28. And hour 9 on the build time. I think we're on hour 17 or 18 now. Kind of lost track. It looks like we have 6 hours in that department. We have that many bags left, and I think we could probably do it in under 10 hours. And in terms of the build, it's mainly just additions to the engines. We have the cockpit still. I think we do it. We have about 3 or 4 bags remaining. Let's go for it. I'm really going to push hard to see if we could get it. Okay, so bad news is we're at hour 10, and we are not done, unfortunately. We have the back of the engine to do, which, by the way, this design is absolutely incredible. Just wanted to point that out. We also built the character of Mithril since then, and that is, of course, very exciting, because he was really neat. And I'm happy to finally have him in Lego. Other than that, I think this is going to be the last hour. I think we have maybe a bag or 2 left, and that is pretty much it. Okay, I lied. There are like 4 bags, which is a lot, but I'm hoping to get it done. You know, maybe hour 11 will happen. We'll have to wait and see. At 11 hours, the UCS Razor Crest is technically done. Although we still do have bag 36 with the blurg and plaque, but I'm pretty sure that's all. The build itself is actually done, which is kind of amazing. Now, we're gonna build those guys, and then we're gonna take a look at everything. The first minifigure up we have is the Mandalorian. Now, he comes with his new face print as well as arm printing for his old variant of Beskar armor. He also comes with back printing, which is very nice, and a brand new helmet print, which actually looks really good and I hope is continued into the future. You also do get baby Grogu, who is of course very adorable. He comes with a nice cram build, and the figure itself is nothing particularly new and or special. Now here's one of the last characters from the show to actually be made in LEGO form. It is the Mythrol. He comes with a pretty nice torso print, and he also gets some basic back printing. He really should have gotten a mold for the head. And then finally, we have the kind of goofy looking Kuiil. He isn't great, he's just kind of alright stuff. He comes on his blurg with exclusive eye printing, by the way, and it's a very nice little thing. I would have preferred it be a actual molded piece, but either way, it's finally nice we're getting this essential Mandalorian character in LEGO form. With that said, we're going to be taking a look at the build. You can actually open up the cockpit and take off this piece, and inside you will see a little area with 3 seats where you can sit Mando, Kuiil, the Mythrol. There's also a door in the back where you can store the child. You can also take out this particular piece and take a look at some of the back details. And you have a little area to store both Mando's hair when you're not using it, and Frog Lady's eggs, which is a really nice deep cut from Season 2 of The Mandalorian. Also up top, there is a little area where you can fit an escape pod. You could take out this, and you could put Mando in if you need him to escape to someplace safe. Not that it was ever used in the show. And you can also open up both sides of the doors, and you can make a little area for the guys to escape. And I believe this might actually even be bigger than minifigure scale. There was also an area out the back where you can leave, and it is actually very nice. You just have to apply some force, and it actually works really well. And if you would like, you could actually have the blurgs crawl into the crest, and they actually do fit in there with some trying. That, you have your blurg in the Razor Crest, which how amazing is that? I would also like to quickly mention the undervalued back detailing of this set is gorgeous. I just love the back engines. I think they did an amazing job with it. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the interior detail is very difficult to see because of how compact the area is. Now, the first major thing to note would be the Boba Fett armor that is left in here, which wasn't there technically in Season 1. You also notice some crates over there, and over here we have a little weapons rack, and I will pull that out since it is very easy to do so and give you a better look at it. Now here it is. The little top tile here is a little picture of Baby Yoda, and it says baby on board, which is adorable. And then inside, we also have a load of blasters that Mando can have access to. It's his little armory, which is really neat. We also do have Mando's carbon freezing chamber. We have 2 guys there. And of course, this is where they actually get frozen, where the Mythrol is sand-danding. And then finally, there is a little bed for Mando to sleep and a ladder for him to climb up. But there is no vac tube, which is probably the most disappointing part of the set. And like that, ladies and gentlemen, the UCS Razor Crest is done. This has to be one of the coolest LEGO Star Wars sets of all time. Spent $600 on it. Either way, with that said, I will see you all in the next one. Remember to peace out and stay awesome.